And we are back. Welcome to my predictions for the African Cup of Nations semi-finals taking place today. Now, of course, there is an Asian Cup semi-final between Iran and Qatar also taking place. If you want to see that prediction, that video was posted yesterday, as well as my prediction for yesterday's Asian Cup semi-final, and fair play to Jordan for seeing off South Korea in that one. Also, there is an FA Cup replays predictions video also posted yesterday if you are looking for my predictions to Aston Villa Chelsea taking place tonight. However, as I say, today's video is all about the African Cup of Nations semi-finals. Two huge fixtures taking place in the Ivory Coast this afternoon and this evening. Who will be making it into Sunday's final? Regardless, both sides make it to the weekend as there is a bronze medal match in AFCON, unlike in the Asian Cup, where the sides eliminated this week are out of the tournament. But like I say, two massive fixtures for you today. If you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you have enjoyed this prediction series, and of course any of the action in this African Cup of Nations, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We will of course have predictions to the finals and the bronze medal matches taking place this weekend. And let's get into it. Two big semi-finals, starting off with Nigeria and South Africa. Now, unfortunately, I think this is where one of the fairy tale stories end in this African Cup of Nations. South Africa have put through together a hell of a run. I don't think many people expect them to even get out of their group, let alone make it to the semi-finals. Certainly I didn't. They've produced result after result after result. It was a bizarre quarter-final with Cape Verde the other day, 0-0, despite both sides being free scoring throughout the tournament. And then probably the worst penalty shootout in terms of penalties, one of the best penalty shootouts in terms of drama. 5 penalties each, and the final score was 2-1. Absolutely unbelievable penalty shootout. But today, they come up against Nigeria, who have been just a machine so far in this tournament. They're defensively just so good. They're picking their moments when to strike. They've literally not conceded in their last 4 games. 2 2-0s, 2 1-0s. It looks like Osimhen's going to be fit today for this semi-final as well. I just think it's too much for South Africa. I would love to see them pull off a result because this African Cup of Nations has been so dramatic and has seen so many big upsets. But for me, it's got to be Nigeria again, and I'm going to go for 2-0 once again, as I did for the quarter-final prediction, even though that did finish 1-0. But like I said in that quarter-final prediction, if South Africa can get the first goal, you just don't know. But for me, I just don't see them scoring against this Nigeria side. They're just too good, in my opinion, and right now have to be the hot favourites to win this competition. Potentially standing in their way then in the other semi-final is the Ivory Coast, the host nations themselves, taking on the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, again, both sides, probably a massive surprise to see them at this stage of the competition, but it's just the way that things have gone. And you have to ask yourself, how much luck have Ivory Coast got left? We spoke about it a little bit earlier in the Asian Cup, how South Korea had lucked their way through to the semi-final before finally meeting their end at the hands of Jordan yesterday. But I think Ivory Coast have even had an even luckier run than what South Korea had over in Qatar. You got to look at the fact that they finished 3rd in their group and were the 4th best 3rd place team. So quite literally the bottom team to go through. 90th minute equaliser against Senegal. Sorry, 86th minute equaliser from a penalty against Senegal to get that game to a penalty shootout. 90th minute equaliser against Mali. 122nd minute winner against Mali to get them here. So they are living the luckiest run I've seen in any international tournament ever, probably so far. Congo themselves, as we said, we sort of joked about it in the quarter-final video, drew every single game up until the quarter-final where they finally got a win. So, I don't know, man. It's a really tough one to call. On paper, the Ivory Coast are the stronger side, player for player. They have a much better starting lineup, in my opinion, than Congo. And, of course, they've got the home crowd behind them as well. For the first time in a while, I think this is Ivory Coast's game to lose, which is precisely why they'll probably lose. But I can't sit here right now and say that I think Congo are going to win this game. I think Ivory Coast are going to win it. I'm going to go for 2-1 once again. Whether or not that's going to be in 90 minutes, I'm not so sure. Like I say, Ivory Coast have quite literally not scored a goal in this tournament earlier than the 86th minute. They didn't score in the group stages other than the very, very first game against Guinea-Bissau, where they were very, very poor. And I don't know. I really don't know. My head says that Ivory Coast will win it, but it's going to be a tight one, this one. I think, like I say, my final is Nigeria against Ivory Coast. Probably spoilers for the weekend video with Nigeria going on to win the final. But we shall see. South Africa could pull off an upset. The second game could be absolute chaos. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I will catch you next time for my Premier League predictions on Friday, then the Asian Cup final predictions on Saturday, and the AFCON final prediction on Sunday. I will see you there.